So Lever with 25 seconds remaining.
How do they find a red and blue jumper? Lever. Happy to take a little off it and just hope Gore's there!
Goal! He's got it! Big Max has got it!
The captain of this football club to deliver a top-of-the-table finish for the first time since 1964.
Gone! Can you believe it?
Melbourne fans around the country hold their breath. There hasn't been a bigger kick in season 2021. Cometh the man, cometh the moment.
Max to win, and he's done it!
The captain delivers in the big moment. Rejoice, Stephen fans.
Melbourne have come off the canvas! Unbelievable!
Melbourne are the minor premiers.
And Melbourne are minor premiers.
Wow.
Just like that. Try and script it. Try and write it. Try and believe it. It's happened.
It does set up rather perfectly for what's to come on Friday night. So our players are with us. Jack Revolt, welcome.
Jared, Brownie, how are you?
Hello, mate.
Yeah, very good.
And over in the West, Christian Petracca. Christian, great to have you back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
How's quarantine? How'd the NBA 2K brackets pan out?
I got bummed out second round, so as the commissioner, I've stopped it. So, it's gone really well. We had an upset last night with Gorney and Jonesy beating the young boys. So, yeah, it's exciting. We've got the prelims tonight, so it'll be good.
Here we are with a look at it.
That'd be embarrassing to young blokes, wouldn't it? The old boys beating them.
Gorney and Jonesy before the game asked, what's the shoot? So they just were pressing square the whole time. So it's pretty funny. It's over dinner. So the boy people who don't like PlayStation were pretty upset that it was at 6:30 during the middle of dinner. But
that's good fun, Jack. You make your own fun in these circumstances.
Yeah, it is. How are you passing the time, Christian? Because it's an interesting being in quarantine and then being allowed out to train. You get that little bit of freedom. What else have you been doing other than the 2K?
Not much, to be honest, other than training. I've been doing a bit of uni, so just doing commerce. But other than that, just been watching a few episodes, watching Hard Knocks, which has been pretty good. And other than that, just playing board games with a few boys. So trying to stick clear of the buffet. When you get on a trip, there's nothing more you can do than eat. So you just got to go back into your room and sort of go back to sleep.
So got to train at Optus Stadium today, Christian. Did that sort of hone the focus a bit? Are you feeling the excitement?
Yeah, I am. It's an exciting time for the footy club. I'm a little bit nervous at the moment, but I think it's a good time to start getting nervous. The way we've sort of had the last 2 weeks has been good. The first week was sort of just relaxing time, focus on your recovery, sleep, not doing too much about footy, real low-level stuff. But the last week's been really, really good. We've ramped it up. We've got our education back, and training today in Optus Oval is 27 degrees today, so it was a beautiful day to train. And, yeah, it's been an exciting time for the footy club and for our fans.
Main session today, or is it later in the week?
No, main session today, and then we'll have a day off tomorrow, and then our captains run on Thursday for a Friday game.
Haven't seen too many train in bucket hats before.
No.
It's
lovely.
Well, I'll give you, when you come from Melbourne to Perth, the sun hits you very differently. I was sunburnt half an hour in when I first got to the sun, so a lot of zinc and a lot of bucket hats, yeah.
Very good.
Christian, the news came through today that Twilight Grand Final, have you fallen into the trap of looking ahead to what the Grand Final looks like, or are you just 1 week at a time?
Yeah, just the old footy cliche, just 1 week at a time. To be honest, I don't really care what time we play as long as we're there. And yeah, that's the main thing, I think. At the moment, we're playing 5:40 at Friday night.
What do you reckon of Twilight, Jack?
It's a really interesting time to prep for a game, and clearly over there in Perth there's the 2 hour time difference too, so it'll be a 5:15 start over there. But it's as silly as it sounds, it's actually hard to switch your body clock on to 2 hours behind and move to that time. So usually when we would travel in the season and we travel the day before, we just stay on Melbourne time. So we'd just say 5:15 is a 7:15 game, and you'd get up when you needed to get up. Yeah, I quite liked last year, just running out, just the whole. I mean, it's
good energy.
The fact that it was dark, Brandon, just the fireworks and everything that came with it was really interesting, but. Still a purist, I think. 3:20. It makes obviously difficult with the time difference.
What about that twilight game? I referenced to Jared before that. One of the most amazing sporting experiences I've been to as a fan was the 2017 prelim final against GWS. That was twilight.
Yeah, it was. It was a very. I think it was just due to scheduling as well. If the Giants had to get out that night, that they had the twilight. So. It was a great feeling, but I mean, this stadium here that we can see on screen, and we've been lucky enough. I was lucky enough this year to play Dreamtime at the G over there in Optus, and it was absolutely amazing. And I think that might have been around a 6 o'clock start, possibly earlier. It might have been in the 5:15 time slot, but it just had everything. It's just got an amazing LED setup, and what they can do over there with just the way they set it up, it's going to be a really great spectacle.
Prelims. So you've had one taste of it, Christian. It wasn't what you hoped for, but the build-up had been immense. Is the build-up different this time around?
Thanks for bringing that up. It's very, very different. Obviously, firstly, COVID situation, so haven't had really any interaction with the outside world, I guess, other than just yourself and being away with the group for 10 days and. It's probably made the trip a bit more special, and we've bonded so much more just because we're pretty much only around each other. But it's very different to 2018. I think the whole group is just different, and we're a lot more mature. Even the personnel is very different. And to be honest, this is probably the first time I've actually even thought about 2018. We haven't really thought about it. We've got a whole different group, and it is a really exciting time for the footy club. And I think you ask our fans. We're a very different football team to 2018.
Christian, one player that we see on screen there's Nathan Jones, who's been a stalwart and obviously an ex-captain of your football club. We're talking about 2018 when you went over there and obviously didn't get the job done. Do you think his role will be important this week to maybe even settle the nerves as it continues to roll up to the start of the game? Actually, from the experience that he has had on preliminary final, because as you said, there's been a bit of a changing of the guard. There's not the same team out there, but there's still some lessons to be learned from those games and games that you've played in the past.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Jonesy's demeanour around the group has been unbelievable. Although he hasn't been playing, his presence, he's got such a big presence, strong personality, and a lot of the young boys do look up to him. And we've got so many young guys in our group, as I said, that what he's done is his experience and given to the boys has been pretty special. And also Jonesy's not ruled out. I mean, we've got hopefully 2 more games left, and it would be special for him to win a premiership with the club that he's been with for 16 plus years.
Did you watch the games on the weekend?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we watched both over dinner, which was awesome. The second game was incredible. It's obviously what finals is about. Close game, and it was pretty special.
How do you go watching the second one, Jack, where just the immensity, the disparity between winning and losing in a do-or-die final when it's down to the last kick and the final actions and whether a player gathers cleanly or not or fumbles and... can you take yourself there?
It takes me back to, obviously, last year, 2020, when we played Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, and it was a real slog of a game and not a lot of goals were kicked, but that last moment where the messaging sort of goes out the window for the last 2 minutes because you can't get the runner out to do the little things like, go and send someone behind the ball, and Tom Lynch actually took it upon himself. He goes, there ain't long to go, so I'm going behind the ball. And he actually took that last mark but it's those moments, Brownie, like the Taylor Giray and Charlie Cameron, like it's actually saved their season. And how much different this, and the little things is what we always speak about in football, but I mean, even the Max Gawn kick for goal, like the implications that's had on the whole final series, and it wasn't even in the final series, even the goal from Bailey Smith, I mean...
Well, they finished on top because of Max's kick.
They're moments that when you look back on it at the end of the year, and if you are successful, let's say Melbourne are successful, they'll go, how crucial was Max's goal? Like, how crucial was that? Or if the Bulldogs get here, even the young fella there tapping it through for a point, just footy now. So all those little moments that make up what can be the perfect season if you go and win the flag.
That's why great players build their reputations from moments in finals. Big believer in that. And I was fortunate to watch the great Michael Voss, amongst others, in action, just have a great sense of the moment. And what can you do in that moment? Taylor Dray, just a small instance there. You did reference the game back against Geelong a few weeks ago. We've all heard about it. You're 44 points down. Christian, do you take anything about, as Goody referenced much of that this week, or have you just tried to put a line through it and this is a new challenge?
A little bit of both. Obviously, finals is a whole different ball game, but we have learnt a lot from round 23, especially in that second quarter where probably as a midfield we got smashed around centre clearances, and that's when they really kicked those 4 or 5 goals to put them out to 40 points. But we thought that the whole game we actually played pretty well. So we've had a little bit of education around that game, but we'll probably watch more about Geelong in the final series. And they're such an experienced team. They've got so many veterans who have finals experience. So we know it's going to be an unbelievable game, and we're just really excited.
It is quite the quirk, isn't it, that both prelims are reprises of round 23 thrillers.
Yeah, they've had a good cider. It's always, I think it's important towards the back end of the season, even if you don't play the exact same side, if you play a good side and you get a good cider on where you sit, it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable about your form going into finals. And then obviously prelim final, if you've seen the team, and Geelong were obviously in the same boot where they've seen Melbourne. They'll know what works in that first half, and then they'll know what didn't work in the second half, vice versa Melbourne. So it's going to be a really interesting battle.
It's a new game, no doubt about it, isn't it? And the boys, they've had a lot of time to think about the teams. Who's the twitchiest bloke in the meetings? Because we know as footballers, we don't like meetings, do we, Jack? But who's the twitchiest, mate?
Bit of verbal diarrhea from Harmsy, James Harms. He likes to get the answers out a fair bit. But no, it's pretty good. Troy Chaplin mainly takes a lot of the meetings. He's been unbelievable. He'll
be twitchy, don't worry.
I knew you were laughing in the background. But no, it's I guess a lot of the meetings have been fun. It's trying to be a lot more relaxed, but the last couple of days has been a bit more, not intense, but focusing more on the game. So I think we're all twitching, to get out there. It's only so close. It's only 2 more days or 3 more days till we play.
As twitchy as you are, Christian, I do want to talk about this one story. It's really important, and it's been really important for me. When I first moved here, I moved in with a host family, and they reached out during the week to Max, Christian and Stephen May via the Peninsula Golf Club. A friend of ours, Cara Dowling's really sick, and she's a Melbourne supporter. And this is how good football clubs are in what is arguably the biggest week for the Melbourne Football Club. The 3 senior players actually took their time to send a video to Cara. She's really battling and it doesn't look promising, but I've never cheered for Melbourne, but I want to let Christian know, and I've spoken to him off air as well, how important that was to me, and I've got a very special spot for those 3 players, and a little bit of red and blue, just hoping that they may go through the journey that I went through in 2017 because of something they did for me. So it's very exciting. But these are the stories that we don't hear a lot of. Yep. And it wasn't any of my doing, but it's just shows how good footy is.
That's beautiful, beautiful.
Well
Jack,
spoken,
Christian,
mate.
The very best of luck. And let's hope we're talking next
track.
week when you're contemplating a bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me.
Good on you. Christian Petracca. Jack, I'll see you on Thursday night.
Thursday night, yep.
Good man. We're going to touch base with Easton Wood next to get the Bulldogs side of things. And then in the classic countdowns of Open Mic at number 2, the Wiz, Warwick Kappa.